All right, there we go, folks. Hey, everybody, how we doing tonight? Papa D here, coming to you again from Central Florida, and we've been a little bit of time since we've had a launch. Falcon 9s have been going off, but tonight we do have another Falcon 9 launch. It's leaving from Vandenberg. This is not a Florida launch tonight. Going to be a busy week for SpaceX. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But tonight's launch is a launch for the National Reconnaissance Office. That's NROL-172. And it is a NRO, one of the proliferated architecture reconnaissance satellites. It's built by SpaceX and Northrop Grumman. And it is for the National Reconnaissance Office. Provides some various imaging and other reconnaissance capabilities. Obviously, flying out of Vandenberg, West Coast launch. Don't see anything on the manifest sheet here that we'll be able to see anything as far as the release of the satellite. It says a classified satellite, so we'll probably, our cutoff point will be prior at the very end of the broadcast coming from SpaceX, which is probably going to end right at the landing of the booster. And tonight's booster is B-1097. It's its 9th flight. It was a 22-day turnaround. Kind of amazing when you look back at the history of SpaceX and how they've been able to turn these things around so quickly. But it is flight number 9, and we hope successful flight, successful landing. It will be landing on the recovery ship. Of course, I Still Love You, off the west coast of California, of course. Just some statistics on this. This is going to be an LEO 22,000 kilogram payload. The diameter of the fairing is about just over 5 feet, 13 meters. 5 meters, 13 meters in height. And it's a two-stage rocket, of course, and a single payload for this evening. This is a Falcon 9 Block 5, and this is a version, of course, been active since around 2018. So B-1097 is going to get its 9th turnaround tonight. Looking forward to that. This is the 638th mission of the Falcon 9, 55th mission of this year. Not even to June, and we're halfway past the potential of 100. This is the 108th orbital launch attempt for SpaceX this year. So, been a busy year, and it's only going to get busier for the folks out of SpaceX. Before we go too much further, guys, just want to thank subscribers out there. We appreciate you guys sticking with us and coming out and spending time with us. If you're not a subscriber, we'd love to have you subscribe. We'd love to have you hit that bell, hit the notification, share the videos. All those things help us get our feed seen a little bit more. We have a non-monetized channel. We just do this because we love to do it. We love seeing all the things that we are able to do now with commercial spaceflight and all the things that the folks out at SpaceX are doing. And we do want to thank the folks out at SpaceX. Do an awesome job. We appreciate having the ability to show what they do. I guess show off a little bit what they do. And we are very, to say we're Papa D and folks over here are a bunch of old space nuts is an understatement. So we thank SpaceX and all the fine people out at SpaceX that work hard every day to make these mini miracles happen so often compared to when I was a kid. And, you saw one once in a blue moon, and that was the Apollo era. So we thank them so much. We also thank the bumper music didn't run tonight. I had a little issue with the new equipment with the bumper, but we do have great bumper music that's provided by Matt over at Madness Productions, and we'll have that hopefully realigned and rebooted before the next show. We are looking at a launch liftoff time of approximately 10:13, which would put us about 13 minutes out right now. It's 10:13 Eastern Time, which would be the window itself, Pacific time, is 06:28 to 10:28. So we got a pretty good window. If there's an issue out at the launch pad or something goes on, if they can't launch in the next 13 minutes and change, we'll be able to extend that out. And as we normally do, we stick with it until we get a launch or a scrub. So we appreciate you guys sticking around and spending time with us. I know there's a lot of places you can go watch the launches and we enjoy putting it all together. Especially, I'm glad to be back online because as of late we had a complete meltdown in the studio equipment, had to replace a lot of our streaming equipment. Retiree income does not make that happen very quickly. And so I was able to put something a little bit better than we had together, and we can get these streams back out to you guys. We're looking right now that SpaceX is supposed to be going live with their broadcast here very, very shortly. They were showing a time of 10:02. Yeah, 10:02. So we should be coming up on live with them pretty quickly. Do want to take a quick moment, though, to get with you about the, I want to say the other exciting thing, but one of the exciting things that they do out there at SpaceX. We do have the potential, it is showing up on the manifest, I guess, of for Friday. And I want to bring that up real quick and make sure it is still showing up. We're showing that Starship Flight 12 is looking for its next test flight at 6:30 p.m. on Friday. Planned liftoff is again at 6:30. We've got about 8:43 is the window close. So just over 2 hours, about 2 hours and 15 minutes launch window. This is the first test flight of the version 3 Starship. The Super Heavy booster has had, and the Starship have had a number, to say it's significant modifications is an understatement. We just had the wet dress. Everything went fine with that. So everything is looking right now for Ship 39 and Booster 19 to make their first flights on Friday, somewhere between, if everything holds and the window it can be utilized, we're looking at a 2 hour and 50-minute window starting at 6:30 on Friday evening, and that's 6:30 Eastern time because that's where I am. So if you guys can mark your calendar for that, going to be very exciting. Looking so forward. It's been about 6 months. I think those of us in the SpaceX community are all going through DTs at this point, wanting to see, of course, another launch and to see the version 3, the first flight of the version 3 hardware is just exciting. I have no better word than that. So please look, if you can, come on back to see Papa D on Friday night. I'm going to be not running a long broadcast. I'm probably going to be popping back in where I can hit the studio at the somewhat near the front end of the launch, maybe an hour before, which should be plenty of time to catch up with where we are and hopefully have an on-time launch. So that is not the next launch for SpaceX, but definitely an exciting one. So at this point, let's see if we have a patch in from SpaceX. Yep, they are getting ready to go live for us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to SpaceX's feed, and we'll catch that in its entirety. Again, thank you to SpaceX and all the fine people out there that work at SpaceX around the country, Boca Chica, here at Merritt Island, Skid Kennedy. We appreciate everything you do, and we are more than blessed to be able to bang the drum a little bit and brag a little bit about y'all. So we enjoy it. But good luck to SpaceX and the flight crew, the ground crews and all this evening for this launch attempt. Again, please hit the subscribe button. If you're not a subscriber, if you are a subscriber, thank you so much. Please continue to share, like, hit the bell. You'll be notified when everything goes live here at Papa D and David Delivers Space. And we appreciate you. We appreciate the time you take to come out here and spend with us while we're doing what we love to do. So what we'll do is we'll switch over here to, if I can get myself a green light on my channel. That was a little bit more abrupt than I wanted it to be, but you got it. And I'll try to push another one of Papa D's buttons here. There we go. I'm back. But we will stand by here. We should be going live at SpaceX, and we'll enjoy this together. And I'll be back with some commentary if the broadcast permits. And if not, we'll catch you at the, no pun intended, tail end. So enjoy the launch, guys. We'll be standing by.
Verify ready for launch. FTS.
FTS go.
Props go. ABI.
ABI's go.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
or east at Vandenberg Space Force Base at 7:13 p.m. Pacific Time. My name is Tucker Spencer Wallace, and I'm a senior Starlink engineer here at SpaceX. For this mission, we are taking NROL-172 to orbit on behalf of the National Reconnaissance Office, or NRO. Today's mission is the 13th launch of the NRO's proliferated architecture and the second with Space Systems Command under the National Security Space Launch Phase 3 Lane 1 program. This will be the 9th flight for today's Falcon 9 booster after previously launching Sentinel-6B, Twilight, and if, for any reason, we are unable to launch today, a backup opportunity is available tomorrow at 3:15 p.m. Pacific Time. At the request of our customer, we will not be showing any views of Stage 2 or payload deployment tonight. But for now, the weather is green with a 0% possibility of launch weather constraints. The 229-foot tall Falcon 9 rocket supporting today's mission is a two-stage rocket designed for the reliable and safe transportation of satellites, cargo, and people. At the top of the rocket is the payload fairing, a protective shell housing the payload, shielding it from the aerodynamic heating until the vehicle is outside the Earth's atmosphere. The shape of the fairing contributes to Falcon 9's overall efficiency, helping to reduce drag during the rocket's ascent. Once in space, the two fairing halves will separate and fall back to Earth, where they will be recovered for refurbishment and reuse on future flights. Right below the fairing is Falcon 9's second stage, which contains a single Merlin engine, or MVAC, equipped with a larger engine nozzle optimized for operating in the vacuum of space. Below the second stage is a black carbon fiber inner stage, which houses the MVAC engine until stage separation. Below that, we have the first stage, or booster, that is fully loaded with roughly 1 million pounds of liquid oxygen and RP-1 rocket-grade kerosene. The first stage makes up the bottom two-thirds of the vehicle and has 9 Merlin 1D engines at the bottom, which generate more than 1.7 million pounds of thrust. As mentioned, the first stage supporting today's mission will be making its 9th flight today. About 2.5 minutes into flight, the first and second stages will separate, and the booster will make its way back to Earth to land on our drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You, which is currently stationed in the Pacific Ocean. At T-minus 4 minutes and 40 seconds, weather continues to look favorable and teams are tracking no issues. Next up in the countdown, the transporter erector, or TE, will begin to retract away from Falcon 9. First, we'll see the clamps around the second stage open. As you just heard, that strong back retract has started, which means the clamp arms are beginning to open around the second stage. The clamps help stabilize the second stage during fueling and prevent movement in high winds. Once they're open, the rocket will be fully free at the top, but will still be held down at the base. You may hear the TE called the strongback, though the strongback is just one of the components of the transporter erector. The transporter erector has two components, a strongback alongside Falcon 9 and a launch mount underneath. The launch mount has the 4 hold downs that release at T0. As you can see on your screen, the strongback has retracted away from Falcon 9. The strongback is hinged at the launch mount and is going to rotate a few degrees away from Falcon 9. At liftoff, the strongback will rotate further away to clear way for Falcon 9.
Looks like we have a very foggy night for a launch.
We should expect Stage 1 LOX load to complete in just a few seconds. This first stage is fully loaded around T-minus 3 minutes, with the second stage finishing about a minute later. And now Stage 1 has completed loading. At this stage in the countdown, the rocket is nearly fully loaded with about 1 million pounds of propellant. That includes Rocket Propellant 1, or RP1, a highly refined kerosene, and liquid oxygen, or LOX, chilled to roughly 300 degrees Fahrenheit below zero. Looking ahead in the count, at T-minus 60 seconds, Falcon 9 will enter startup. The rocket's onboard flight computers will take over. From there on out, the countdown is fully autonomous. Just inside of T-minus 2 seconds, the 9 Merlin-1D engines will ignite, and once they're at full power, Falcon 9 will lift off from the pad and begin its climb to orbit. At T-minus 2 minutes and 8 seconds, the range is green, the payload remains healthy, and the team is still tracking no issues. Stage 2 LOX loading should finish up just inside the T-minus 2 minute mark. We just received
as you heard, we are
confirmation
just
that
about ready
Stage 2
for
LOX
launch.
load has
LOX
completed.
and
Falcon 9 is now fully loaded with 1
propellants are
million
loaded.
pounds of RP-1 and LOX. Coming up shortly, we can expect the gas closeouts to begin. Ground gas closeouts have started. That refers to venting and closing out gaseous systems, such as topping off tanks and sealing vents to maintain pressure. Coming up in just a few seconds, Falcon 9 will enter startup.
All right, guys. And as you heard, when startup time comes, that is when the vehicle remains completely autonomous. All control is internal. Of course, it can always be stopped by the ground, but all control of the vehicle will be internal, and we should be getting a really good view of a nice launch here very shortly, just under 1 minute.
We're now just waiting for the final go, no-go from the launch director.
Launch director, go for launch.
We have received a go for launch from the launch director. Let's sit back and watch as Falcon 9 takes NROL-172 to space.
T-minus 30 seconds.
All right.
T-minus
good luck,
15
SpaceX,
seconds.
and good luck in ROL.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition. And liftoff of the Falcon 9. Go SpaceX, go NROL-172.
All right, we have liftoff, folks. Go SpaceX.
Vehicle is pitching downrange.
NROL-172. Godspeed,
M1D
good
chamber
luck.
pressures are nominal.
All 9 of the engines seem to be running straight and hot, normal. Nothing is cut. Everything looking good on the board so far. Start pitching here very
At
shortly.
T plus 30 seconds and counting, Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off from Space Launch Complex 4 East at Vandenberg Space Force Base. We're now throttling down the engines to prepare for max Q, the point of maximum aerodynamic pressure during ascent.
Power and telemetry nominal.
Max Q occurs when the combination of speed and air pressure put the greatest stress on the vehicle. That should be coming up in just about 10 seconds.
Falcon 9 is supersonic. Max Q.
And there's that call out for max Q. Coming up next are several major events in quick succession: main engine cutoff, stage separation, second engine start, and fairing separation. Main engine cutoff, or MECO, is when all 9 engines on the first stage shut down. This is followed by stage separation, where the first and second stages are pushed apart. A few seconds later, the second stage engine will ignite to continue pushing towards orbit. This is known as Second Engine Start 1, or SES-1. Shortly after, the 2 fairing halves will separate and fall away, exposing the payload to space. We should begin hearing the first of these callouts in just about 1 minute.
Great shot of the coast of California peeling away, and the curvature of the Earth will be coming up here, depending on the shot we get. Perfect launch. Everything looks good. All 9 engines running.
We are now just a few seconds away from the beginning of those events. As a reminder, that will be MECO, Stage Sep, and SES-1.
MECO.
Just keep in mind, guys, we will not have shots of the
Stage
payload
separation
itself.
confirmed.
I'm back startup.
And confirmation for that series of events, which again
Beautiful
were MECO,
shot.
stage separation, and SES-1, or MVAC, start. Coming up next will be fairing separation. Once the vehicle reaches the vacuum of space, the payload fairings are no longer necessary and will be jettisoned and retrieved. As a
Fairing
reminder,
separation confirmed.
there's the call out for fairing separation. As a reminder, we will not be showing any views of Stage 2 today. If you're just joining us, you're watching live coverage of the NROL-172 mission. We had an on-time liftoff at 7:13 p.m. Pacific Time from Space Launch Complex 4 East at Vandenberg Space Force Base. In order to make its way back to Earth today,
all vehicles are following nominal trajectories.
we just heard a good call out there for all vehicles. In order to make its way back to Earth today, the Falcon 9 first stage has 2 more burns to execute. Next up is the entry burn, which helps to slow the stage down as it re-enters the upper part of the Earth's atmosphere. Following the entry burn, shortly thereafter, the booster will initiate the landing burn, which will slow the vehicle down before landing on our drone ship. You should hear the call out for that entry burn just about 2 minutes from now. During the entry burn, Falcon 9 is decelerating by firing its Merlin engines in the direction that it's moving. This causes it to fly through the engine's exhaust gases, which deposit a layer of soot on the vehicle's surface. This gives our flight-proven vehicles their characteristic look. That soot comes from the carbon-based fuel that Falcon 9 uses, and with each flight, the soot builds up a little more on the outside of the vehicle. We are just over a minute and a half away from the beginning of the entry burn. As you can see on your screen, Falcon 9 is equipped with 4 hypersonic grid fins, which are positioned near the top of the first stage and used for steering as it returns to Earth. These are the primary aerodynamic control surfaces for the first stage during atmospheric re-entry and descent. Grid fins are a critical part of Falcon 9's reusability system.
There's a curious sight, something floating by the grid fin there. Thought it was a piece of maybe ice or some kind of FOD that came off.
You may also be
of,
seeing white puffs on screen. These are part of the Falcon 9's cold gas thruster system, which helps to orient it while in the vacuum of space.
Yeah, just an interesting shot of some FOD out there, or again, it could be just a
is
string
key
of ice.
to lowering the cost of spaceflight, enabling more investments in
All
critical
vehicles continue to follow nominal trajectories.
Great confirmation that the vehicles remain healthy. The Falcon 9 first stage that is supporting today's mission is performing this entry burn for the 9th time. Again, that's coming up in just about 20 seconds. You should see the graphics light up as the engines do on the bottom of your screen.
Good to note that fuel level too, folks. You see they landed
Stage 1
just
FTS
enough
is safe.
fuel. Very little extra.
Stage 1
Usually
entry
right
burn
on the
startup.
numbers. There's the burn for the landing.
There's the
Or the
call out
entry
for
burn, I'm
entry
sorry.
burn startup of the Falcon 9 first stage. This burn is set to last about 30 seconds and is slowing the vehicle down in preparation for its final burn and landing.
Yes, there'll be 3 engines for the entry burn and 1 single engine, the core engine for
Stage
the
1 entry burn shut down.
landing burn.
We just heard the call out for entry burns to shutdown, signifying the completion of the Falcon 9 first stage entry burn. Coming up next will be the first stage landing burn in just a few seconds. The landing burn is the final burn of the Falcon 9 booster used to reduce the remaining speed of the vehicle for a precise landing on our drone ship in this case. You can now see the grid fins maneuvering the vehicle as it positions itself for that landing.
Stage 2 FTS is safe. Stage 1 is transonic.
The landing burn is going to start in just about 20 seconds.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing burn.
And there's that call out. That means that we are in the final burn for this booster before landing.
Landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
All right, we have a
And
landing.
another successful
Number
landing of our
9.
Falcon 9 rocket. As mentioned at the top of the program, we will not be showing any Stage 2 or deployment views today at the request of our customer. So with the successful recovery of that first stage, we'll be bringing our live mission coverage to a close. We'd like to thank the National Reconnaissance Office for entrusting us with today's mission, as well as the Range and FAA for their support. If you're interested in more launch coverage, head over to spacex.com/launches for the most up-to-date information. While you're there, check out our departure board with all the details about our upcoming missions. And of course, remember to follow @SpaceX on X for more updates. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you again soon.
All right. And with that, we have another SpaceX mission in the books. Congratulations to SpaceX, everybody out there. Congratulations to them and the NROL, the National Reconnaissance Office, for another mission completed, another payload delivered to orbit. I just want to clear one board here. Alrighty. And that's that. Alrighty. Alright. Well, folks, want to say thank you. I appreciate you all coming out tonight. And those of you watching live, those of you who will pick up the launch on the replays. And I want to make sure that everybody is seeing what they need to see. And there we go. There we go. Make sure the feed is moving its way back out to the internet. But again, I want to say thank you to all you guys for coming out tonight, spending a little time with Papa D. Right at this point in time, it's looking like our next mission is going to be. We're definitely going to broadcast on Friday. Again, that was the. There's going to be the Starship launch, Flight 12. We do have a Starlink launch coming up. I'm just checking the manifest right now. We do have a Starlink launch on Friday morning. We're going to try to catch that one here live, depending on how the morning pulls out for me. There's a number of launches that are going to be going off. We got a CRS launch, it looks like tomorrow. That's still on the books. I had moved that off, but it looks like it is on the books. So we've got a launch tomorrow at roughly 7:16. Yeah, all right. Yeah, Papa D's got too many screens going and trying to keep track of so many launches. But so we will be looking at the launch tomorrow night at about 7:30ish. We'll go live probably about 7:15 Eastern time. And that is a CRS SPX-34. That's another Falcon 9 launch going to be coming out of Cape Canaveral. So we'll be seeing you hopefully back here tomorrow evening. But for now, I want to say thank you guys. Appreciate you all coming out and spending time with us here. And I've got to push a couple. Well, that didn't work out the way I planned, but yeah, it's all good. There we go. We're back. Got too many buttons and too many things going on. But again, I want to say thank you for coming out tonight. It was a successful launch for SpaceX this evening, another SpaceX launch, and another satellite to orbit, government satellite. And you can follow SpaceX on X. They will have updates as they allow. But this being a national security launch, there'll be no video, of course, or any follow-ups on that. So with that being said, guys, I will say have a great evening. Thank you for coming out. Look forward to hopefully seeing you back here tomorrow evening for the next SpaceX launch. And then, of course, the big launch, hopefully, on Friday. We're looking forward to seeing Starship Flight 12, and which will be include Ship 39 and Booster 19, the first of the Block 3 equipment. So hopefully see you back for that also. Well, with that being said, guys, I will say good evening. God bless. Go SpaceX, and have a great night.